Right. The European Super League caused absolute uproar in April after it was announced that six Premier League clubs would break away from the Premier League and join their own Super League with other clubs from around the major leagues. Now this was called the Super League. Arsenal and Spurs were in it, so there wasn't everything super. Everything in it wasn't super, that is for sure. But putting the laughable stuff to the side, this was an absolute disgrace. And as people have been saying, the clubs need to be punished, and the punishment has come out today. Better late than never. And it's not good. It's really, really not good. It should have been much, much more than this, but we will get into it now. So, the European Super League, of course, the big six clubs are now going to pay £22 million between them to the Premier League over failed breakaway plot. So 22 divided by 6, you can work out the maths there, how much each club is going to play, and it's around three and a bit million pounds, which is pathetic. Premier League is pathetic. These clubs try to destroy football, and they are going to get a £3.5 million just fine. Now that's come on, £3.5 million. That's not even a half decent player. I mean, you couldn't even get a Vladimir Sufal for that. Honestly, it's just awful. The amount of time we've had to wait for these punishments, we just thought the Premier League and everyone and the FA just forgotten about it, but it's now come out. People say better late than never. It's late. I suppose it's good that there's some sort of punishment, but it should be double this and more points deductions, because this is what they did. Completely could have destroyed grassroots football, everything to do with football, and could have made the game just completely tumble to the floor. And £3.5 million isn't going to change that. Let's be completely honest with you. The clubs won't be happy that they've got to pay this, but some owners might think of this. I think, crikey, we've been let off here, because it's all about the money. It is all about the money. Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, Man City, Man United, and Spurs will pay a combined sum of £22 million to the Premier League. The Big Six reached a settlement over the plan to join failed European Super League in April. Clubs will face heavy fines and points deductions if they sign up in the future. Now I look at this and think, what? In the future? Do it now. I mean, honestly, this is such a Premier League thing to say. I'm going to say this now. So, basically, they've said, right, so they've said to the six owners, these six clubs, right, give us £3.5 million, so £22 million. Give us that money. Don't do it again, otherwise we'll give you a 30 points deduction. Now I think, do that now, so they definitely won't do it again, because something like this has been on the cards for years, people will say. And why don't they lay down the law now with points deductions, transfer bans, fines, you name it, all of it, in my opinion, and allows you £3.5 million and a warning saying, if you do this again, we'll give you a points deduction. It's not enough, I'm afraid. In my opinion, you might think that is enough, but in my opinion, that is not enough of a punishment. The figure was announced in a joint statement by the Premier League and Football Association on Wednesday afternoon. This is going out tonight, and the West Ham news show I've just recorded will go out tomorrow morning. So they have also agreed to an additional £25 million and obviously a potential 30-point deduction if this similar transgression happens again in the future. The six clubs involved in proposals to form a European Super League have today acknowledged once again that their actions were a mistake. Yada 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 yada. Yeah, right. They couldn't care less. Kroenke, all of these American owners, they couldn't care less. They go slap on the hand, £3.5 million. Yeah, we won't do it again. Blah blah blah. But they just wanted the money, and if they had the choice and there wasn't massive uproar about it, of course they would have continued with it because they signed up to it in the first place. They have wholeheartedly apologised to their fans and to their fellow clubs, and they have apologised to the Premier League and the FA wholeheartedly. They have they? Yeah, right. As a gesture of goodwill, the clubs have collectively agreed to make a contribution of £22 million, which will go towards the good of the game, including new investments in supporting for the fans, grassroots football, and community programs. This is good to hear that they nearly destroyed football, so they're going to give some back because they nearly completely destroyed it, so they're going to help it grow a little bit more, which is nice to see. Furthermore, the clubs have agreed to support rule changes so that that any similar actions in the future would lead to a 30 point deduction. See, you go through this statement and you think they're saying, yeah, £22 million, quite a lot, and they're saying if this happens in the future, they keep repeating this 30 points deduction. They keep ramming it into you that next time it'll be a 30 points deduction. Why don't you do it this time then? I don't understand, really. The eventual settlement is smaller than an initial proposal made by the Premier League last month, which basically said £50 million per club. So if you times that by 6, let me just do that. 15 times 6, that's £90 million given to the Premier League. Why didn't they do that? And a substantial suspended in the end points deduction. So they thought of it. But they said, nah, we'll just give them the £3.5 million deduction each. Honestly, they said that it won't happen in the future, blah, 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 30 points deduction. And they even put this forward last month and said we will give them a points deduction, but then come back and said, actually, they must actually, it really wasn't that bad, was it? We will just give them that fine. Honestly, I don't believe what I'm hearing. They should be fined a lot more money than that. But there we go. That is my reaction. An absolute joke, as it says in the title of the video, that the European Super League clubs, the English ones at least, have been fined £3.5 million each, and that has evaluated to £22 million. And money's going to grassroots football, community programs, and the good of the game as well. In my opinion, not enough. They keep going on about points deductions. It should have happened in the first place. Transfer ban as well, in my opinion, should have came in for this summer to really teach them. And this is not on. This was completely out of order. But they don't care. If they get the money, if they've only got to pay a little bit of money and all the money keeps flowing in, all of the Kroenke will be happy, all of them will be happy, and we will still not be happy with that awful decision in April. Anyway, that's going to do it. Drop a like on the video, subscribe if you're new around here. Get your comments in onto Twitter, Instagram, all of these things, because the comments will be turned off on this video. That's unfortunately out of my hands. But there we go. Come on, you guys, and we'll see you very, very soon. #no to the Super League.